If you ain't talking money, then I don't want to talk.
Still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys. Catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys. Catch them slipping and slam. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys. Catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys. Catch them slipping and slam. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys. Catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys. Catch them slipping and slam. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys. Catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys. Catch them slipping and slam. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys. Catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys. Catch them slipping and slam. Then I'm still gon' stunt. Diamonds look like they glowing. 50 stacks all singles, I make it look like it's snowing. Treat them like Jack boys. Catch them slipping and slam. Treat them like Jack boys. Catch them slipping and slam.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's entertainment. Tonight, we're going to have open mic night. And when it comes to a particular topic, something that you want to talk about, then please do not hesitate to come up and show out. But until such time has come, the Dallas Cowboys suck, and the Michigan Wolverines still won the freaking nanny. So, with that being said, I wanted to transition to a video that some people invited Dr. Umar to discuss certain issues. Right. And I think this was a good podcast. I believe they are they are considered the elevated podcast. Elevate with the number 8 right in them. Good podcast, good stream. Let's hear what's going on. Fair use.
Although unacceptable. She got $30 million for that.
And was quiet.
Never said a word about it.
was with him on the award show red carpet 2 days after that, never reported him to the police. You understand? It ain't acceptable. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the victim ain't got nothing to say about it. She off with her snow puppy, spending Puffy's 30 mil. She straight. And my thing to black people, can we stop being hypocrites?
Man.
Black women have the highest domestic abuse rate in America. If what happened to Cassie disturbed you so much, what are you doing about everyday domestic violence against black women in our community? Not a damn thing. You want Puffy to burn for Cassie, but you don't want your brother to burn for all the women he done slapped up. You don't want your father to burn for slapping up your mother. You don't want your grandfather to burn for slapping up your grandfather. We have an issue of selective morality in the black community, which is nothing more than 21st century hypocrisy. How can you want justice in this situation, but I don't want justice in these situations? Look at all the black people saying they're going to vote for Donald Trump when he was found liable in a court of law to have raped that woman. So if you are against rape of women, abuse of women, you want Diddy to burn, but you're going to vote Donald Trump into office. Look at the contradiction. If Diddy should burn for slapping up a woman, shouldn't Donald Trump also burn for raping a woman? But no, we selectively moral. We're going to vote for Trump, but Diddy needs to burn. I don't listen to black people when it comes to moral conversation, because most of us are not ethical and principled enough to call a spade a spade. One of the reasons that Lady Justice is supposed to be blindfolded is because you're not only not supposed to be influenced by the race of a person, but you're not supposed to be influenced by the wealth of a person, the status of a person, or your relationship to that person. So yes, domestic violence, I don't support it. Diddy was wrong, and I don't have a problem with him being held accountable for that. But his federal indictment has nothing to do with Cassie situation that happened 7 years ago. 7 years ago. 7 years ago. He's indicted for what? Interstate prostitution, interstate sex trafficking, and racketeering. I can't speak to the racketeering because I'm not a member of Bad Boy, right? Right. Interstate sex trafficking, I'm having a hard time believing a billionaire has to steal people away into sex. I believe a billionaire can pay people into sex. So no, I don't believe Sean Puffy Combs is guilty of sex trafficking. Do I believe he's guilty of paying people to engage in sex? Yeah, I think they might get him on a prostitution, because prostitution is only legal in like one state in this country, but there's other states considering it. And let me tell you another reason why I think they had to bring Puffy down now. New York State is considering making prostitution legal. Think about this. The one charge that I feel he may be guilty of, the state that's prosecuting him is considering now making prostitution legal. So they got to convict Puffy now, right? Because what he's doing in a few months from now may not be a crime. It's like marijuana, right? Recreational marijuana. You in a city where you're being prosecuted for recreational marijuana, but your state legislature is considering making recreational marijuana legal. So if I want to destroy him, I got to destroy him before the government passes a law to make it legal. Diddy is going down to distract us from Kamala Harris because black people was all over her ass. Diddy is going down to distract us from the fact that they got some hurricanes going on, blowing on poor black people out of certain areas in Georgia and in Florida so they can get them lithium deposits to the elite corporations. Puffy is also going down to distract away from Marcellus Williams' execution, the lynching of our brother in Henderson, police genocide. Puffy is a distraction away from everything else that is going down. And then look at the new white guy who just got charged with sex assault. Garth Brooks, the king of country music, he just accused of sex assault. But guess what? Nobody's talking about it. All eyes on Puffy.
Yep. He got a bar downtown.
Yeah.
All
stay floating
eyes
that bar.
on Puffy. Look at Vince.
Puffy's bigger.
Look at Vince. Did you see the charges against Vince
he's
McMahon?
big, but not big.
The owner of the WWE?
WWE, yeah.
Damn. They said, she said he forced her to, he raped her, forced her, allegedly raped her, forced her to have sex, drugged her, doped her. He was, Puffy's allegations on steroids is Vince McMahon. Guess what? Vince McMahon never been arrested and detained.
That's crazy.
Puffy is a distraction. That doesn't mean we can't hold him accountable as a community. Principles are principles, right? But you still have to look at the political agenda. Two things can be true at the same time. I can hold Puffy accountable for what he did and still see that he's being used as a scapegoat so we don't focus on more important issues, because what he's doing is everyday business in Hollywood. It's everyday business in Hollywood. So why is Puffy the only one? Same thing with the R. Kelly. We can hold him accountable. If he touched the girls wrong, you got to suffer for that. You don't violate no child. But guess what? Why isn't there a systemic attack on pedophilia? Why isn't there a systemic attack on sex trafficking? Why are you only going after individual black men instead of a whole system of which they're only a small part?
Which is fair, which is quite fair. If you're putting R. Kelly in jail, you got to put in Kevin Spacey in jail. If you're going to put Bill Cosby in jail, then Jeffrey Weinstein needs to be in jail. That's just it. But the fact of the matter is, Bill Cosby was in jail because of something that he did 40 years ago, which makes absolutely no sense. Allegedly did 40 years ago, and give old people Quaaludes. I mean, this world is absolutely sick.
Because I know you Negroes like to lynch each other. And I know if I hang Puffy out, if I hang Bill Cosby out, if I hang R. Kelly out, y'all will destroy them in such a way that by the time black people are done feasting on their own, we'll be able to do anything with them we want.
Yeah.
We know that we're going after R. Kelly because he don't want to sell us the masters. We know we're going after Bill Cosby because he don't want to let us drill for the oil. We know we're going after Sean Puffy Combs because he sued Diageo Liquor Company out of London, and less than 2 months after they was forced to settle with him out of court for undisclosed amount, his house was raided. We know that Puffy was starting that Our Black Party, which could have been a problem by election day in November, so we had to silence him. That's another thing, y'all. The raids on Puffy took place strategically in March to make sure his voice cannot be heard during his presidential election. Because when he did his last interview talking about Our Black Party, he spoke of how neither party was doing anything for black people. They could not afford Sean Puffy Combs to go public and endorse Dr. Umar's message.
No, man, I've been seeing you. Folks been making you get in your goon mode. And, you know, I've been.
I'm taking every cookie she got.
Taking all that
sugar box.
No casualty ward.
Okay,
no casualty ward.
If you want to come at me, I'm provoked. Now. I don't pick with nobody.
I ain't mad at
Dr.
this.
Umar, I'm too busy to pick. I don't follow none of these goons.
Okay.
I don't watch their YouTube. I don't watch their content. I don't follow you. I'm just trying to build my school, help out parents without children, and push the Pan-African movement. That's it. I don't mess with nobody.
I mean, it's out with discretion. If you are a figure coming up in the black community, let's just say, for example, you have like the Brother Polites and the Young Pharaohs and the Sinettas and the Shaka Almoses and the Red Pill, Blue Pills and the Sarah Sunsetis and the Brother Reggies of the world. And shouts out to Taj Tariq Bey. Taj Tariq Bey, you know, big ups to Taj Tariq. Brothers Deep. All these people coming up, and then of course you have several of them get knocked down because of, you know, their piss poor use of the community, piss poor use of, you know, using people for their natural gains. Brother Polite was accused of this. Of course, he was spotted with 2 white women on his arm at a Lakers basketball game. Excuse me, it was a New York basketball game, right? I get it, but then now the only 2 left standing are Umar and Tariq Nasheed. And these are the 2 most powerful scholars. I wouldn't consider Tariq Nasheed a scholar, but These are the two most powerful beings in the black community right now. So you gotta pick and choose your peoples wisely. I choose Dr. Umar because I've known him longer. I know him longer. I've met him. I've interviewed him. Pretty good, solid brother. I can't say for the sake of argument what can he do wrong. I haven't seen him do wrong. So you can't tell me he's done wrong. If anything, I've called him out about it. He's not a good businessman at all. I often say that, and I will continue to say that. But he's ever since gotten his shit together. So I'm expecting some good things come out of that school. I'm expecting some good things coming out of the community, period. But you have to give it time. We have too much time. See, this is when you follow government. He is not for governmental things. He doesn't want to be underneath anyone. Now, all those particular black folks come at me talking about he has no choice but to do this and do that. Screw you. You don't tell me what to do when I have my own, when I'm buying my own property. When I buy my own property, if I buy my own land, if I buy the land underneath it, it's mine. If I pay the taxes on it, it's mine. So you can't tell me squat about what I have to do.
But my name keep coming out their mouth. So after all these years of being patient,
You done ran out of patience.
I ran out of patience.
I need the queen. I need
I'm
your
rock
wife.
her sugar box. I'm taking a women for that one. I'm taking you. I'm taking.
But what? No.
I'm taking a queen. What's the best way? What's the best way to crush
Back outside.
But if
boy.
the hate
no,
and the ego of a YouTubian struggle streamer? Take his queen.
Struggle streamer.
That was a good
Struggle
one.
streamer
Okay,
is
no, I'm
diabolical.
for real. Like, okay, let's just say you had somebody that was really interested in you and like they really wanted to date you, but you out here saying you gonna fuck other people bitches if you.
Not that language.
I mean, but it's the same thing. You're going to go out here and do these different things with these haters, women, I guess I should say.
Call
But
the
if
cops
you-
when you see Tupac.
But why?
Grab the cops when you see Tupac.
Oh my God. I give up.
Rest in peace.
To Doc, the queen gonna have to understand it's
You
war
gotta
right
understand,
now.
It's war now. It's war. They
It's
keep
war
coming
now.
for me. It's war. What better way to shut them up?
Came over here messing with me.
Or queen, speak up. Yeah, I mean.
That is true.
She not
For
tripping
sure.
about that haircut.
You know, I'm not really gonna touch their wife. You know,
I don't know that. I don't know
I
you.
might take them on a date. Take them on a date and
Take some pictures.
They gonna think she did something with them. That's gonna hurt.
Smell like
That's
some
gonna
Dr.
crush her.
Oil. Rub it down in some. I'm gonna
you
give her
got-
a massage. Out of respect for the queendom, I'm not gonna rock sugar box, but I'm gonna give her a deep tissue, African shea butter, African coconut oil, African almond butter, avocado butter.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna give her the most sensual massage, big black.
He's overzealous. He's just totally overzealous with it. Well, hey, Lisa, you know what to do. Link is in the chat box. You know what to do. Come right on up so we can talk about this. We can talk about these things in random. Because this is going to be a random conversation. You could ask me any other type of questions. We got some new people in the building, some new subscribers in the building. All right, we got some new subscribers, new everything. New everything. All we need is members. All we need is members. We need new members so this channel can continuously grow. So support. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get
Nigerian,
into it.
Cameroonian, and they in hands, and I'm going to massage her down.
Need that.
Oh,
All over her body. I'm a rubber. Oh, I'm not going to penetrate your quick. Because he's too busy worrying about Dr. Umar. Under the lights, no sex, but it will be sensual.
Black power.
All right, I can
Black
deal
power.
with
Black power.
That's even better. Because you attended to her in a way he don't, because he too busy worrying about Dr. Umar. I like
That's
that.
what, look,
Hello.
you gotta add me to pay. You
In
gotta
other
add me
words,
to
focus
payroll.
on your queen.
Right.
Focus on your queen.
Talking about me and my haircut.
Focus on your queen. Because I'm trying to understand how a black woman dates a man who's totally consumed with another man. You feel me?
And them not saying anything.
Like, how you...
I'm
I
gonna get
couldn't
this
date
so
a woman. If
good.
I'm dating a woman and she constantly hating on this one man,
I will.
something's up.
Yeah, I'm like, what's up with you?
I gotta end this because I'm scared about trying to tear this man down. Something wrong with these people.
I agree.
But you know what's funny? My top 4 strongest haters, right? You know what they initials? One initial for each of them? L-A-M-E.
Lame
Lame
as
as fuck.
lame as
Who's as lame as fuck?
lame as
L-A-M-E.
Lame ass struggle strings.
One initial L, one initial A, one initial M, and another initial E.
So
lame.
you just
lame.
substituting the E for the F.
No, E. No, one of them is the E.
So F-fuck. So
Lame.
lame F-fuck. Cause there is no F. No, see, look at all y'all faces.
he said L-A-M-E.
Right.
No. Listen, lame ass. So
Man, he
what
just
is it?
added this. Fuck.
Duh, that's what I'm trying to say, Harold. Damn.
Oh, shit. You lost, I ain't gonna lie, you lost all of us. Hey, if she lost y'all, let us know.
I ain't lose y'all. No,
Bring it back.
they gonna be looking the same way I'm looking.
But on the reels though, right there, that's one. Her over there, that's one. Because nothing will hurt my heart more than to let somebody who tried to stop the school benefit from it. You know what I mean? So I'm really going to need people to really zero in and expose some folks, man. Because when we had our block party, the FDMG festival, we did 2 of them.
Yeah.
2021, 2022. We had a couple of them haters come in, and I was bothered because I found out after the fact some of my supporters knew that they was haters and didn't tell me. Well,
Trust and believe. If I was on the payroll, if I was on the motherfucking payroll, they definitely would know. But being out there, Wilmington, Delaware, I never been over there. It's not too far from Michigan. If I was still in Michigan, I would have been there. It wasn't too far, but I'm in Vegas. So trust and believe. He would have known through me, but he knows. He doesn't know me, but he knows me through streaming. So I would have definitely said something. I expose these motherfuckers every single day. Well, they end up exposing themselves anyway. So
why would you let them come and sit here and participate in this shit when you know they're going to stop this?
You support.
So I need us to more ownership. I think too often, even when we support somebody, we still like to see fuckery on a certain level. You know what I mean? Like I support Doc, but I still want to see what might happen.
Yeah.
We ain't got time for that. Get serious about this. This is serious.
You think black people are actually serious about this? They're too busy, trying to get a laugh out of some fuckery shit. That's just what it is. Not all, but there's a good majority of people now that just love to see fuckery shit. That's why you get people with their little camera phones out snapping some shit of some dude smacking up some girl, right? And think it's all, they're just trying to get a reaction. That's why I can't go on certain people's panels. It's just I visit the chat. I say my highs. I say my goodbyes. I'm not staying long. I'm not staying long at all. Because what comes next is fuckery. Just to make, and all this just to make a quick buck.
You see a hater.
Why don't you give me some dollars exposing the truth about some stuff, exposing the truth about the government, exposing the truth about the Senate, exposing the truth about a mayor or something like that. Getting on somebody for hating on their women. Getting on somebody for chastising and putting their hands on their man. Give me some money for that. Don't give me some money on, where your clothes is too tight. I'm like, what the come on now. Or you're from Africa. You're an African booty scratcher. YouTube is something else.
Expose them so we can throw them out by the neck.
Do you think that some people might have a certain type of feeling about you because they don't know you, but then they come around you to try to figure out who you are and then start to become a fan?
Yes. However, that's fine. That's a natural human process, right? But don't hate on me before you find out who I am. Do you follow what I'm saying? Be man enough or woman enough to reserve judgment. That's what I do.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? I'm going to reserve judgment till I know you, but I'm not going to hate on you for years and then finally meet you and say, oh, yeah, my bad, doc. I didn't know. Nah, nigga, get out of here. Because this whole time you was riding with the hate. Now you want to try to make up for it. It's too late.
Yeah.
You done already done too much damage.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So be mature, exercise some discipline and some patience, and wait till you get to know. But with that being said, I mean, 90% of our people show me nothing but love and support. It's only about 10%.
Oh, there's some haters out there. Especially some bald-headed nigga, bald-headed, light-skinned nigga. That just needs to hating to be hating. Just hating on. Right? You should be cut. You should be cut and treated to school. Ain't nothing but blabber talk. Like, have you ever donated to the school, nigga? I know this motherfucker watching too. Have you ever donated to the school, nigga? I doubt that. I doubt it. Something keeps going wrong. Keep having to reload. Let me do this. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. Why is everybody successful coming in but you?
It's not that many of them, but they're so loud and consistent. You feel me? They're so loud and consistent that it looks like it's more of them than what it really is.
If you ain't got no haters, you ain't doing something right.
Absolutely.
I
Brother Malcolm said that. No enemies. Right.
So, Doc, real quick.
Hey, New York, that girl. How you? Would you like to? Well, it's an open mic night, so if you have any questions, if you want to come up, that's fine. If you have any questions that you want to ask your boy, that's fine too. How you doing?
So I got this event next month. It's our first in-person event. It's going to be on soft girl era and feminine. To put a woman into a soft girl era. Right? That's basically what it was.
Soft girl era. And that's related to femininity. So you basically not these group of guys, but basically what I've been hearing is refresh. basically what I've been hearing is a whole bunch of guys when they're asking for a woman to be feminine, they want women to drop their guard, right? They want women to drop who they are as a woman and just be vulnerable. They're already vulnerable as it is. That makes no sense. They're already dealing with the fact that of course, when they meet a man, they have to be in character. They usually are being themselves most of the time. Their character is who they are as a person. So you're asking them to just drop who they are, drop that wall, and just be with them, and become their wife. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way because you haven't even established anything yet. That's like me going into a bank and saying, "Give me your money. Give me $4,000. Give me $100,000." You're not just gonna give you that. Antisocial in the building. What's up, my love? They're not just gonna give you $1 million on the spot just because you want the bankers to drop their guard so they can give you $1 million. Well, it don't work that way, and it certainly won't work that way for a woman. Soft now it's a soft. Excuse me. Now it's a soft girl era. Okay, I heard it all now.
Yes, but I'll let Jay to kind of tell you what
Okay.
the girlies say.
Okay, so I actually saw this post on Instagram yesterday where it was like, a happy man is God's plan, or a happy wife is a happy life. And my take on becoming in my soft girl era is how my man handles situations, how he handles conflict, how he talks to me. I feel like I look at him when I choose a partner. I'm looking at how he leads me. I'm looking at how he is when it comes to emotionally, spiritually. Those are my main two things that I'm looking for first, because if you can't lead me with blindfolded, at least, then like I don't feel like I can trust you, because I should be able to trust you blindfolded and think that you are going to make the correct decisions, as I should say. So when we talk about softcore era, it's more so looking at it as, I'm a firm believer is a happy man is God's plan, because that's who I'm looking at to lead this family and lead me to where I'm going. So we're trying to.
This is We-On-Loc Nation. Who's
Hello
there?
there.
Woman, it's about time you done bring your crazy self up here. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
So,
Hmm.
I am great. Mad at my son, but I'm great.
Oh, why?
Oh, it's
Mm-mm.
just stuff. It's not even worth talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
So, Lisa, I mean, talk. You usually talk a lot. You talk about things that are irrelevant or not relevant. Excuse me, relevant and important. And speaking of importance, I want to get to a particular clip that I told you I was going to get to. Right. One of them would happen to be talk. She went off. She's not used to this. She's not used to this. She's not used to coming up. So I understand it. I understand it. She'll be back. She'll be back. She's not used to it. She's usually in the chat. Just like Bridget. Bridget usually doesn't come up on chat, so she's not.
Figure out, that was a debate with soft gear era, and kind of what I think Harold has something else too.
Really, because a lot of times when we ask this question, I hear women start. I say, "What is soft girl era?" And they start talking about what a man needs to be doing. All right, what are the characteristics of a soft girl who is in an era of wanting to be soft. Like, that's what I want to do. That's I don't want to hit this, but I don't want to hit it. Because one of the things I want to focus on, we do like what accountability is the woman taking into the healing and the process it actually takes for a woman to become soft. Because I get that a lot of times, especially with the women, you paying bills, like I get it, you feel me? But I want to understand, like the fellas, I'm gonna say the fellas, right? Want to understand, like what does it look like for a woman to be soft? Like not necessarily, like because I feel like a man want to meet a woman and she's soft, not necessarily. I meet you and you hard as hell and you got all these boundaries and all this other shit up there and then push me away and then you want me to overperform.
Nigga, you just shook. That's a whole broad statement. Get to the point. Like, we get it.
Become for you to become soft.
It's about how you come into a situation. Like, I understand, I get what you're saying completely, but it's also how you come into a situation. If you come into a situation trying to get to know me and who I am as a person, you care about what I have going, like that's going to open up the door to me to feel vulnerable to be able to talk to you because you care. It's like a sense of caring in a sense. If you come into a situation where all you talk about is you, it's like, oh goddamn, like when you gonna talk about me? Like, well, when
I'm
you
asking
care?
you to talk about you.
Yeah, no, that's
you
what I'm saying. But you have to create that. No, you have to create that space for me to be able to open up to you and be like, this is what I think. This is how because if you come into a situation where you are completely concerned about not only just yourself, because we look at that too, but you're concerned about what another person has going on as well, that opens up the space for us to be vulnerable and want to talk to you and open up to you. So the question that you asked me, you keep saying, how does that revert back to a woman? Is how you come into a situation. Okay, right. For example, if you come in and you like, God damn, are you fine as hell? To a certain woman, that's gonna be like, well, you rude as fuck. Versus you coming in and being like, you're so beautiful today, I just want to let you know that. That's going to make me soft to be like, okay, well, thank you, I appreciate it. Like, it depends on how you deliver whatever it is you're trying to deliver.
Yeah, I'm going to use your example and I'm going to give you it on perspective and what we hear, right? So you're saying you meet somebody and how you approach them determines if they're soft. Like, yeah, I guess somebody got you fucked up. They got you fucked up. My rebuttal or my response may be like, I may cater it. You know what I mean? Based on that, like, if you got me fucked up, you got me fucked up. What I'm saying is like, I can't tell a woman to like how you meet me and how you handle me on our encounter is going to determine how masculine I am.
No, but it will determine your it will boost her up by having you mainly respecting yourself. If she sees that you are respecting her and having you respecting yourself by having her speak the first time around that you have a conversation with her, when you have her talk, when you have her be all about her that night, it's starting to open doors. It's starting to lower barriers, because women have barriers who are up to the fucking ceiling. So and for good reasons too. Some reasons I don't understand it, but the reason why they have those barriers, that wall up, is because of possibly previous relationships, abuse. Niggas don't know how to talk to a woman, stuff like that. And if you come out at all, because men are afraid to admit that they have feminine in them too. It to a certain extent. Feminine to a man does not mean he has to be, all glamorous and glorious and acting soft. No. It's just coming out of your all and introducing yourself and being a charmful man, being a respectable man. It has nothing to do with you putting on pink and nothing and acting like a bitch. No, it ain't got nothing to do with that. It ain't got nothing to do with that at all. Because because people just think that, oh, what you coming off like a bitch. And it's like, that's not the case. That is not the case at all. Lisa, tell me you're here. Lisa, you're on mute. Man, this is we'll figure it out. We got time. We'll figure it out.
Like, I can't gauge my meter of masculinity based on you, your boundaries, your acceptance to it. Like, none of that. I have to exemplify masculinity. Like, I feel like women want a masculine man. Like, so you find out, you understand what that is, and you develop and learn to become that. Women, I feel like when we ask what is a soft woman or what puts a woman into a softer era or an era where she like
Lisa.
healing.
Yes.
Please. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Here's the thing. Are you on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, it might be your phone. It might be your phone, but you're here. So tell me something about this election and why it's so important to so many people. Starting with on the Kamala Harris side. Oh, please tell me you're there. Please tell me you're there. Lisa. Wait, no. It says you're not on mute, but you're not saying anything. Let me see. Let me work. We'll work with it. Do not worry. Let me see. Audio. Default microphone. Lisa, can you hear me? God dang it. Let me hold on. Let me give you a fresh one. Hold on. Because this thing is trippy. This thing is tripping. Let me give you a fresh one. Hit that link. Don't hit no other links. Hit the one I just put up. Hit the one I just put up.
And potentially wanna again be
that I'm still coming. How you come at me is how I'm gonna come at you. Granted, if you come at me, let's just say when my ex used to come at me all crazy and I was very gentle still, even with him coming at me crazy, I'm not going to take that baggage into my next relationship because I'm going to see that next relationship for what it is and who that person is. I'm not going to
realize is you just said that you was responding soft on your own. It wasn't the man was coming at you out of pocket and all that, but you saying that you're responding soft. That ain't up to the nigga, is what I'm saying. And what I want you to also understand, like, so what puts you in that place where you don't respond with the same attitude, the same...
Because I've been through it so many times, and I don't fight fire with fire.
That's up to your healing. Your experiences, your healing, not up. Because again, if it was up to the man, you would have matched his energy. That's what I want you to see. Okay, you just gave the example that I really wanted you to see. Like, he is coming at you with fire. You feel me? A woman who is in a softer era, she understands that, like, my power ain't meeting you with being masculine like that. My power is in, like, okay, I'm gonna make you feel like a damn fool, like, for real, because all right, babe, you know what? You might be right. I don't think it's you right. You feel me? But I ain't finna go there with you. We'll talk about this a little bit later.
Sometimes
do y'all follow this?
Just be tired.
Do y'all really follow this lingo? Do y'all follow this? Do y'all follow these instructions? I wonder, do y'all really follow these instructions? Are you intent to be in a soft girl era? I mean, these talks are really, to me, these talks are really, really stale. But at the same damn time, it's like it is what it is because people want you to be bathed in their a woman to bathe in their femininity, which I just don't. You're trying to drop their guard. Hello.
Hello?
Okay, I can hear you
Okay,
now.
I can hear you.
Okay, get to talking, Lisa. Before you get dropped.
Hmm.
Now we were talking about women's rights and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell them what you told me when it comes to abortions and stuff like that. I was
Well,
listening.
well, there are a couple things that are going on. Right now we're in the election cycle, and Camilla, she speaks of all the reasons why we should have abortions. Trump is against abortions, but I'm going to play devil's advocate for a minute. All the stories that she tells, but women that are married, that their husband may want, and she doesn't. And let's say she wants, now she does not have that right depending upon what state she's in. If she's in New York,
Her phone is either the phone or it's the application itself. I don't know, but other people had mighty good success with it, and so it must be her end. But try again. We'll be here. But now that I got this up, I want to listen into the rest of this shit. Let me see.
president off Bush economy. Y'all tell me how Bush economy was. That was a Republican.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Says,
And he had to
says
fix
a
that
woman
first.
No,
that came
let's
into
say
the Breakfast Club with hot sauce and what was it, beer or some kind, trying to trick black folks into voting in for Hillary Clinton.
Oh, what?
Okay, but what I asked
Why we
her
talking about him?
Nah,
I think we talking about Obama.
Bush economy.
what I asked, I
thought we
did
were talking about Obama.
but I did ask you.
Because people
I
are
asked you
presenting
about
actual
Bush
factual
economy.
information and policy, and you're
Voting
back
for
on
none of the
hot sauce,
above.
meaning it means that you can only digest
It
shade room.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're talking about Jimmy Carter. It doesn't matter if we're talking about Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden. It doesn't matter. They're a whole bunch of trick bags. That was my whole point. But let me stop right.
Level politics, not the real factual information from academics. If back to
Bush
hot sauce,
economy
you're on
was
a
the
different
worst.
level of
Tell
conversation
them
if you're
again.
going back to hot
Pretty.
sauce.
Let me ask
Pretty,
y'all
'cause
something,
I
right?
think I'm
Was the
talking too
worst.
low.
Let me
I think
ask
I'm
y'all
talking too
something.
low.
If Obama didn't do anything
I really
if
wish
Obama didn't do
women was
anything, right?
not getting
Like
into
a
their
lot of black
feelings
men
about
say,
certain
then
things.
why
You
is
just
After
shouldn't
Hold on,
believe.
hold on,
Hold
You're
on.
being weird about this
yeah,
shit.
because I don't know why they won't let me talk. It's so racist. Let us
Can we
start
My
talking.
bad. Go ahead.
I don't know what it is. They do this every show, yo. I just want to say, I just wanted to ask a question, and then maybe it'll help.
This is
If
tricky.
our men keep saying Obama didn't do anything, then why did Trump come in and fight so hard to change everything Obama did?
That don't mean anything. That's the next president after the next president after the next president.
He didn't do nothing. What? Because you remember that's what he did. That's what he said, and that's what he did. Because look, you got Obamacare. I did pull up some stuff. You got Obamacare, climate change, clean power plan. He even had an immigration policy, and I'm gonna look into that because
Why did he beat by Bobby Rush? Somebody explain to me that.
for childhood arrivals.
What was that?
I
We
still
got
want to know why we ain't talking about
education. Race to the Top competitive grant program. In
Handouts. You're giving me handouts.
and surveillance policy, and he had a lot for that virus plan. You know, he had a plan.
Oh
Trump
yeah.
came
When he had
in and
a
changed
team.
the whole thing, and that's why we were so bad when we went through Corona.
See, you're giving me, you are giving me instant handouts. I don't want to hear nothing else about no damn handouts. Hey, Lisa.
Hey.
Here's the thing. It's mainly your device, but I mean, it is what it is. Don't worry about it. But we're gonna be here mostly, pretty much all night. So, so go back to where you were again. And
Well, I'm giving an analogy about a married couple and say that the husband wants to start a family and the wife doesn't, but she ends up pregnant and she wants to have an abortion. These laws affect her just as well as they do the single woman, but you don't hear anyone speaking uh, to the married couples. You see them only speaking to single women, like single women just run out here and spread their legs and just get pregnant, and there isn't this highest infant mortality rate for Black women. You know, when you have women that are having miscarriages and they can't get treated, when you have doctors that are scared they're going to go to prison, they're actually going to put a doctor in prison for 99 years if he assists a woman with an abortion or a miscarriage. A guy that assists a woman, like taking her to get an abortion, he gets 180 days in jail. Tell me where the legit is in that. You heard me right.
180 days in jail. Okay, so 180 days in jail if he assists him.
Right.
In in abortion.
Will get 99 years.
Oh wow.
Right.
Oh wow.
And
I mean, understandable. Understandable. I have never partaked in any of that crap because I don't believe in abortions because I am pro-choice. But I also believe that if a woman is in danger of her life and if she is being inappropriately groped or touched by a family member, I can understand where this comes from. But to say that somebody doesn't treat me right or somebody cheated on this person cheated on me or whatever, I can't, and you abort my child, I can't accept that. I can't accept it because what you're doing is like you just, and this is what this, and that's another thing. We all talked about the fetus. Is the fetus alive? Is it real after what, 3 months, 4 months of conception? Is it right? Is it a child then? This is what we've been arguing. And I mean, either way it goes, I just don't think it's right to want to give up, not just on a relationship, but on the baby as well, because the baby didn't have to be here, in my humble opinion. But like I said, I don't dwell in that because I love kids. I love kids, but look, Lisa, let me play this one because I've been wanting to give you this. I want to give you this right. I've been wanting to give you this right here. See, this is where I was at. This is where I was at last night, right? And even though it was some great conversations last night, but this is like it's the era of the Obamas, the Jimmy Carters, the Bill Clintons, and now Joe Biden. They all love Democrats. and we've been we've been voting for a very, very long time. And I just don't understand what's so special about the Democratic Party. But just listen to it.
That was already set in place. That was one thing that would have saved a lot of lives if he hadn't changed it. I know
What about
y'all
all those
remember
black
that.
men that he promised to let out of prison? One of them was
Oh, you need to you need to look that up.
Let me ask you something. Can I ask you something?
Yeah, he let out more black
I want
men.
to ask you something. Because we giving you valid answers and you acting like we not saying nothing and then you pulling up something else. So isn't the fact that you know he did enough that you're not gonna like recognize it? Is that what
Y'all don't hear Emo speaking? Hold on. Y'all don't hear
they
Emo
can never
speaking?
have
Hold on. Hold on. The host was not done speaking. Sir, you're being
Are you not to the men? Are you not listening to the men in particular when they're being asked these specific questions? Are you actually listening?
What
or
man?
you
What you talking about?
I'm talking about those ones in that video.
Okay.
Plus, there was another particular video that I reviewed yesterday. That's the very exact same thing. That man came up there and said, "How dare you try to chastise us? And you haven't done nothing for the 2 terms that you have been in office. 2 terms.
We're telling you what he did. Not accepting it. We telling you what he did, and you're not accepting it. Like we telling you exactly.
What was that? What was that? Ayo, what?
Handouts. They're basically what she just named. That was just a whole bunch of handouts. What he did for the government. What does the government have to do with me? Those are all government official type shit. What has the government ever freaking done for me? What has it ever freaking done for people? The only thing he gets credit for is going after Osama bin Laden, shutting down the government. Ooh, shutting down the government. You know who else who was involved with that? George Washington. You know who else was involved in that? Freaking Donald Trump himself. Lisa, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Well,
okay. I lost you.
I'll give you one since you want something that he did that you don't consider a handout. Let's talk about the Fair Sentencing Act. How about that?
What about it?
We don't want to talk about that. That's something that he did.
No, I said, what about it?
What do you mean, what about it? That's something that Obama did. That's something that he did, which will help Black people, did help Black people, because you were getting Black people who were going to prison for all this time for selling rock cocaine when you had their counterparts, the white guys, sitting up here getting a slap on the wrist. So therefore, the Fair Sentencing Act was created. You know, we as a race have a whole lot of problems, and one of our problems is we're always so quick to talk about what Obama didn't do. How about talking about some of the things he did do? And nobody said that Obama was perfect. I mean, neither is Trump. None of these candidates. They're all full of crap, really. They say whatever they need to say to get in office, and when they get in office, they do whatever. But, you know, now we're in a place where, do you want someone that wants to be a dictator? Do you want someone that's saying that they're going to try everyone that prosecuted them for treason? Do you want to see what little rights they say we have in the form of the Constitution? Do you want to see that all gone? Do you want to see when they talk about, he says that no one's going to touch your Second Amendment gun rights? Well, it's not a lot of us running in buying all these assault rifles because they make sure that you get felonies, so you can't legally get guns. The statistics show it.
That's why you get your CCW, so you can go and get a gun permit. That's basically what a gun permit is.
Firearm legally, and if you get caught with one, you go back to prison.
In what state is this?
I know that's the case in Ohio, New York, California, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi.
So most of these places are southern states. And you know what happened to most of these Pacific states when you try to challenge the Second Amendment? You get a whole bunch of angry white people. That's what you
Mhm.
get.
Yes, exactly. That's the point that I'm making. It's not really for us per se, you know. It's more about them, and a lot of the other things. It's just like everybody wants to sit up and blame the vice president for what's not getting done. She's not the president. She's not the commander in chief. Trump had 4 years to do all this stuff that he's claiming he's going to do now. He didn't do any of it. He didn't do anything about the border. Why didn't he get rid of the immigrants? Why didn't he do all the things that he's blaming them for not doing?
He built the border. He just wanted to put the tab on the Mexicans to pay for it.
But he didn't do that. They didn't pay for the wall. We paid for it. And he didn't complete the wall either. Just
No,
like
he
he came.
didn't. He didn't complete it. He built it. He just didn't complete it.
So what good is it if it's not completed?
I have no idea, but something behind this second term, because let's just face facts. He's going back in office. Something about this election is telling me that he is going to be appointed the next president of the United States of America. And when that happens, we are fucked. when Kamala Harris is in office, we are fucked.
I agree.
So, I mean, but I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It's just that I get sick and tired of people saying that the only particular black man in this instance that done his 2 terms has completely. They say that he's done so much to so many people, and we all are, and most of the men are saying, "What is he doing? What did he do? Would you like to see what? No, it was. I think it was Fox. No, it wasn't Fox. It was some other. It was some other network. It was some other network that said that clearly there were people that were upset of what he said. I don't know. I don't know if you saw that or not. I don't know if you saw it or not. Shut up, Flora.
I didn't see it. I've heard about it, and I can understand where people are coming through because the other day, I forget the night that Michelle Obama spoke, she did something similar, and it was a bit offensive to me. It was similar to what he said, and I'm like, that's not good, Michelle. Michelle, that wasn't a good move there because, like I said, I'm a pretty liberal type of person, but it was offensive to me. If I had to base my vote on that, you wouldn't get it. I know what I hear from everyone that I talk to. There's nobody that anybody wants to vote for. You don't want to vote for Trump. You don't want to vote for her. And it's sad that we live in a time that we, the people, can't even have candidates that we want to vote for. We didn't pick these people. We didn't decide who runs for president.
No.
It's like, I want to know if she's talking about all this stuff. I'd like to know, well, what are you going to do about the rising food costs, the rising utility costs? I'm not hearing anything about any of that.
I did. Well, let me ask you something. What do tax cuts, or what are tax cuts supposed to do? Give me my money.
Supposedly,
don't talk to me about tax cuts. Give me my money.
Well, the first thing is, in order to get those great tax cuts, you have to be in a certain class. And a lot of people are not in that upper middle class. That's what I'm saying. They talk about the middle class and the rich, but the poor are usually who everybody get successful off their backs. You think about the people who work at McDonald's, the people who clean the bathrooms in the Trump buildings, the people who clean Camilla's office, all of these type of things. And I just don't see where they really represent the people.
Well, when it's supposed that niggas is scary nowadays. After reading this supposedly big page booklet on Project 2025, and one of those terms would happen to be, I think, something about minimum wage. And for those individuals that are looking for jobs, Black people, if let's say the minimum wage is still like $7-8 an hour, I don't know how much it is in all cities and all states, but over here it just jumped like a couple of years ago from $7 an hour to $8 an hour. Well, we all know not all places pay that much. But if you go to Burger King, I bet you if you go to Burger King right now, and if you ask how much do they pay an hour, it might vary from say $15 to $16 an hour. Well, that might stop. Social Security is going to be taken. Your
taxing
health, huh?
That's the other thing. Like Trump is saying no taxes on seniors and stuff, but it's when you buy things, you never own it. You pay taxes. You go to the grocery store, you pay taxes. You buy medicine, you pay taxes. You buy clothes, you pay taxes. But yet they do these things like, oh, you get this child credit. What about the old people, the elderly people, the disabled people? What do they get back? Their money goes in the pool. They pay taxes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You don't get. They're getting rid of Social Security.
Yeah,
they want their money back so they can give to their criminal friends on Wall Street.
Yes, I know you heard about Giuliani, right?
What happened?
Well, he lost the case against the 2 Black poll workers that he slandered, where they were afraid to leave their houses. They were getting death threats and everything. Well, they won the civil suit against him, and they got millions of dollars. Well, he hasn't paid it. So last week, a judge ordered that his assets be liquidated to pay him. He has no choice. He didn't do it. Now the court is liquidating his assets to pay them. And that's what he did.
Ooh.
Nice.
Naughty.
They were 2 poll workers up in Atlanta. They are a mother and a daughter, actually. And they went and testified on Capitol Hill before Congress, several committees and everything.
Naughty. Well, hey, here's a clip that you probably haven't seen this one yet. You probably haven't seen this one yet. Here we go. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Oh, damn.
Other reasons are numerous. Real and valid reasons, of course. The simplistic take is that these men must be sexist. Here is Barack Obama lecturing the brothers, as he calls them, on why they must back Kamala.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
He then went on to lecture them about why they must pick Kamala and why any reluctance must be due to what sexist, misogynist monsters they are.
You just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you? Because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is. Putting women down. That's not acceptable.
Now, that little rant inspired some feedback from members of the black community, male and female.
I want Barack Obama and every Democrat out there to know, you do not own black people. We are not slaves. Our chains are gone. We do not owe you anything. And we don't have to give you an account for how we choose to vote.
The Democrats unleashed Barack Obama into the wild to shame us black men for not supporting Kamala Harris, despite the fact that she's yet to unveil any policies that represent our interests. But if it was a white politician shaming other white men for not voting based on identity politics, y'all will call him racist. Why is it okay for Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, and all these other people that supposedly look like me? Why is it okay for them to get on TV and shame me for not voting for them simply because they look like me? That is racist, brother. I don't know how else to put it. That is racism. I don't have to vote for Kamala because she's quote unquote black. Just like I shouldn't have voted for yo because you got up there, you tap dance for the establishment, and you ain't do a goddamn for the black people that put you in office. You, brother.
You ain't did a thing for us in the 8 years that she was in the White House. And you think you gonna pop up during an election year and try to scold black men for not wanting to vote for your candidate? Have you lost your mind?
I spent 10 years of my life fighting your administration, you and Biden, by the way, for my husband's military benefits. My daughter died because of Obamacare. I don't give a about you.
This message is for President Obama. First and foremost, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. Number one, I ain't going to vote for Kamala Harris. I think that she's going to make a bad president. She's a bad vice president. Everything she does, she tries to politicize it, and she hasn't shown that she wants to put America first ever. So I'm not voting for an individual.
That was just the icing. That's not even the icing on the cake. So I'm like, seriously, I'm in awe. I'm shocked. I'm appalled. The chickens are coming home to roost.
You're loving this, aren't you?
Hell yeah, I'm loving this.
Unfortunately, I'm highly disappointed. I had not heard that. First of all, he doesn't have a right to sit up and tell anybody anything about their vote. Okay, first, I mean, when you're sitting up talking about, well, you're not voting for her because of she's a woman. Well, I'm a woman. And that doesn't mean she's getting my vote just because she's a woman, because she's a black woman. That's not what I base my vote on. And you don't have the right to tell me what I should do, because guess what? My money still pays your salary.
Ooh.
Yeah, that $200,000 he gets a year, it comes from somewhere, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and he's not donating that. So for him to come up and act like Miss Thing has done something for us lately, no, she likes to put black men in prison. That's what she likes to do. She likes to prosecute them and give them those long prison sentences. That's what she does. I don't trust him, and I don't trust Trump. And as far as Biden, he's in some nursing home somewhere. We don't even hear him.
No.
That was not a good move. That was not a good move. I mean,
he cannot even talk, Lisa. It's like you put him up there, and he can't even freaking read the script right. And this is the reason why when you told me what you told me about, and you sent the thing yesterday about.
Yeah,
it's about high time that we start young.
Yes, the D's.
Yes, and you got a plethora. You got a rainbow coalition up there. I mean, you got black, you got Latina, you got Asian, you got transgender. You got a whole bunch of people up there, and all of them under the age of what? 25, right?
Yes.
And you
25.
and you said you're not down with it because you want somebody with experience, correct?
Well, yes. I mean, I don't want a 21-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 28-year-old making major decisions about my rights and laws and regulations. Uh, they haven't lived life. I mean, at 20, come on, 21, are you serious? Now, I'm all for getting younger candidates in office and younger people running, but not that young. A lot of people aren't even mature till their 30s. A lot of them are still in college at 21, depending upon what your major is and what type of degree you want. But yet, I'm supposed to entrust you at the age of 21 or 25 to make major decisions about my life, my laws.
I
I
mean, what
think
if it works? I mean, what if it actually worked? What if you actually get that person to to get to really get the people to subside what he or she is saying, and people are going, and especially in this generation, Generation Z and
Mhm.
Generation Alpha ain't that far along.
Right.
So you're gonna get people from Generation Alpha and whoever's coming down the street. What if they subside to that person's view, to that person's politics? What would you say then?
It really would depend. It really would. I mean, it's just like you said. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. What Camilla is doing, she's trying to do it a smart way because the other night she even spoke about the Gen Zs. She spoke to the first time voters. I mean, she's got the mega bar. She's got a little something for everybody. You
Okay.
know, well, you think about it, she's acknowledging the Gen Zs and the people that are coming up and what they're saying. I know that when you say, oh, well, the old stuff doesn't work, let's use TikTok and all that. Well, I don't know about TikTok. I think that's going a bit far. But if it works and it's going to improve the quality of living that we have, I'm for it. If that's what change means, then fine. No, it's no different than in this lifetime, I've lived to see a black president. I don't think Trump is going to win. After what they did all week this week with those rallies, 30,000 people and pulling Tyler Perry and all these people up there and Bruce Springsteen and Beyonce. Well, you have to think about it. You think about how people follow people on YouTube. Think about people who are fans of, say, Beyonce, that look up to her, that respect her, and that if she says, "Well, vote for this person," oh, I'm going to vote for them because my favorite artist, Beyonce, says to vote for him. That's why they do that. It's a manipulation. It's a subliminal message that they kind of put in people's head that, oh, like I said, if Beyonce is your favorite singer and you're voting, well, there are going to be a lot of votes that come from Beyonce, some from Tyler Perry.
No one follows Beyonce anymore. It's all
Well,
about young kids. But if you gave me Sexy Red, maybe. If you gave me a Gorilla, maybe. If you gave me Meg the Stallion, fine. Meg the Stallion did perform for her at her I think one of her campaigns, and so did some dude from the Amigos. He came up there and basically, and Eminem. Now Eminem, that's a
shock. That was a shock. That was a
that was
big shock. That like knocked me totally over. I mean, Eminem of all people, you remember him that talked about the black lady in his song, way back in the day.
yeah, of course, of course, of
And
course, of course.
oh, that same Eminem.
No, you know what? I think it's gonna be. It needs to be a civil war. It needs to be a civil war with black folks. And remember, these are some critical times here,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the reason why I asked on the last stream, why do we feel so separated? This would be part of the reason why
Yes.
we're so separated. Don't go so far into your emotions for the simple fact that this woman, this black woman is going to be running for office. There are plenty other different candidates that could actually run for office. If you were to pick Hillary Clinton, I mean, I would have something against it, but it would be far more better than Kamala right now because she's pretty much inexperienced.
Well, I mean, I agree with you because my thing is this: she didn't campaign. All the time that all year long, she just slid right on in up under Joe Biden. It wasn't like she was picked as the candidate. They had no other choice at this point. It was too late to have someone else, so they had to go with her. And they had to pull the big guns out. And I just, like I said, she doesn't, her policies, I don't hear her talking about what she's really going to do to help. All I just hear her is in a roundabout way, in a generalization, talking about stuff.
How long have you been following her?
Who?
Or the better question would be, how long have you been following this election campaign?
Pretty much all of it. I don't yeah, I don't follow it, like watch every single thing and all of that type of stuff, but I follow it enough to sit up and know that even Joe Biden, he wasn't saying anything that that was moving me to get my vote. And just because she comes in, and that's what they bank on. They bank on her being a black woman getting black women's votes. And you don't just get my vote because you're a woman. You don't just get my vote because you're black. And I think that's what offends a lot of people because you automatically think I owe you something. No, you owe us something. You have a job to do, and whether you do the job good or bad, you're in there for 4 years, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Run and tell that.
Exactly what that immigrant
That's
house
not the transition to wealth. That's
What
not.
was-
That's
what-
not.
What do you mean? You in and all this time you not gonna transition. No matter who in office.
Evo, what
Like,
exactly
that's
was
it.
that? Evo, what exactly does that?
Not gonna happen. And
Alright,
then you
exactly.
have to unsure it's crazy.
All right, listen, time out.
Ain't gonna happen
All right, guys, listen. All right, guys, listen, time out.
This
All right,
made
obviously,
Obama's
all right,
policy me up because
listen.
we don't understand it. So when Trump
Because
got in
Obama's
there,
gonna come in and make y'all
he
rich.
raised everything Obama did. Therefore,
Like,
those
how is he
policies
supposed
for
to
black people.
All right, time out.
For a
Time out.
weirdo.
So Evo. Oh,
You're not
Evo,
listening,
Evo.
sir.
This black man, this much credit that has absolutely nothing for black people, I can never understand it.
Chris, I saw it, mama. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I kind of knew, and I should have screened this further, but to have that go on, I really should be paying much more attention. But here's the thing: why do I give a shit? Why do I give a shit for something that I would assume that I could walk into a corporation, right? I could walk into, I could do what my mother-in-law is doing right now. She works for the state. I would assume that I can do that and all goalposts won't be moved. But the goalpost, especially where I live right now, often moves a hell of a lot, especially in 4 years. 4 freaking years of goalposts being moved. Now you need this. Now you need this. Now you need that to go into these facilities. Or you need to go into, when you go into HVAC, when you go into electric, when you go into carpentry, when you go into any of these trade jobs, you're going to need some specific things. And when you get those specific things, when you wasted all that freaking money, you wasted all that money, you don't get no results. And what these people are doing is like they elected 64 judges. Oh, what they freaking do? Half of these people can't even get can't even pay for their schooling all the way. But you can get other minorities from other countries to come over here, and they get grants, they get vouchers, they get everything else. Miss me with that hand garbage. But now I have a doctor. I have a doctor that you and I both know, Lisa. And you love this doctor. You will definitely love this doctor.
Okay.
You will definitely love this doctor. Dr. Umar, I want you to come on. Now listen what this brother got to say.
Kamala Harris, the so-called black woman, say that I can't do anything black people, but you sat in the White House for 4 years with Biden and watch him take care of specific groups of non-white people, and you didn't demand one thing for your own black people that you claim to be a part of.
Now, again, because those are a lot of semantics in the sense, because we've heard this argument before. She can say a lot of that stuff is taken out of context. A lot of the process of when she's saying she wants to do things for all people and not just black people specifically. Okay. We also know that bill, the Asian hate bill, is actually a bill that is for all.
No, it's not. Did you read it?
I mean, it's a long bill.
Read it. Yeah. It's not for everybody. They only discuss Asian and Pacific Islander hate in the COVID-19 hate crimes bill. It is not for everybody. It is for Asians and Pacific Islanders.
Okay.
And now stay with me.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with them protecting
as they should,
Asians and Pacific Islanders.
Very specific in that moment.
Yes.
Because a lot of that was going right.
My problem is how do the Asians get an anti...
Stop me if you need to.
Hate after one massacre. And don't get me wrong, that's enough to get a bill. But black people been catching hell for 4 centuries, and we ain't got one yet. And what's been done to us is way worse than what has ever been done to any
there
other
are
group.
Many. There's bills that have protected over the history.
Name me one bill in American history that was written for black folks.
You got the floor. I can hear you from a mile away. Go ahead. You got.
I'm talking about when he's saying, these bills that protect us. No, they haven't protected us. If anything, they've held us back and buried us deeper. What do you think you call putting people in prison for a lifetime for a little bit of weed protection? Do you think now you sitting up, if somebody gets an abortion or travels to another state, putting them in prison, lock them up, that's protecting our children with the substandard educational system that we have? You call that protecting? They don't even want our children. Trump said he would defund the public school system. Yeah. He would defund the public school system. See,
and that does that include HBCU?
And I don't disagree with anything that he said so far, because it's true. Anybody can come to this country, not have any money, not speak the language, and next thing you know, they're a millionaire. They can open a business up. They can bring their family. Well, how did they do that? And we've been here, and we can't do that. What's really going on? We know what's really going on. We must be suppressed because if we're not suppressed, then they have a problem. And to be very honest about it, the problem that we're having, they're afraid. Their time is about up. It's that simple. The world is changing, the country's changing, and those good old boys, they're not going to have room for them pretty soon.
The
And
only thing that they're afraid of, the only thing that they're afraid of is number one, she is losing in the campaign for first and foremost due to the polls. Secondly, she's only bringing out the big guns, but specifically, you have Elon Musk right there. He's a freaking billionaire, and he knows how to create. I mean, I have no problem with Tyler Perry, but oh Jesus, oh Lord, some people are getting tired of Tyler Perry and Oprah, and the only reason why let's get this clear. The only reason why Oprah is a billionaire and she's lost a lot of money. She's lost a lot of money. You know who gave her money to function? Tyler Perry.
what?
Yes, she lost. What was it? Not the meat campaign, but it was something else that I had to look it up. But this was like years ago. But the only reason why she's irrelevant right now is because of Tyler Perry. It's because of Tyler Perry. No one pays attention to Oprah. No one pays attention to Oprah as much. She's a freaking coward.
Well, see, I think that's exactly kind of what the Gen Zs are saying. I think to a degree, I think it's an overall generalization about the stuff that they're saying because that's part of it. Like you're saying about Oprah and Tyler Perry, those are old people. We're the young people. I'm talking about we're the young.
We're crippling them.
Mhm.
We are crippling the young people, but not by not giving them the proper resources. So they have to find it on their own. And once they find it on their own, they ain't gonna need much. But they are looking for us to support them. They're looking for us to support them in their endeavors. And I wouldn't mind supporting them as long as they're going in the right direction with it. I don't mind supporting them. I don't.
Well, told you. I mean, I don't. If they have a viable solution and can give good results, I don't have a problem. I don't care what gen you are. But if you're not, there still is going. I'm still going to have that concern about having a 21-year-old to a 25-year-old making major decisions about laws and various different things. That's just too young. I'm all for getting younger candidates. We don't need 70 and 80-year-old candidates and 60-year-old candidates, but not 21. You have not even lived a life. You haven't much.
How old was Obama, Lisa? Wasn't he like 45, 44?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. So you would rather have that then?
I would rather have somebody over 30.
I can see that.
Okay,
okay.
I just the 20s, you're too wild. There's too much going on with you at 20. You're trying to figure it out. You're just getting your grips in on life. Many people have just left home and went to college for their first time. And you just have not matured enough and you haven't seen life enough. You can read all the books you want in the world, but there's something for life experience.
That is, I can't argue with that.
Since the end of slavery, give me one. Because the Civil Rights Bill was for everybody. The James Byrd anti-Lee, that's for everybody.
The Civil Rights Bill was definitely ushered in by us.
So let me ask you a question. It might have been ushered in by you. All the bills were ushered in by us.
Right.
But who benefited the most? Affirmative action and the Civil Rights Bill benefited homosexuals and white women far more than it benefited black people. In fact, the Dixiecrats and the Republicans refused to sign it.
Affirmative action?
Yes.
Wow.
There's been recent, yes. And let me tell you how that was. The Republicans and the Dixiecrats told Lyndon Baines Johnson, we're not signing the 1964 Civil Rights Bill if you only limit it to black people. They demanded that you add gender and sexual orientation as protected categories. That's how it ended up including gender, race, ethnicity, all the protected codes.
Right.
Because they said this is not just going to be about black people, because there's an unwritten rule in this country where you don't make laws just for black people.
Question. There is a thing that Kamala Harris is about gender, right? And that her, and since Biden has put in law that the transgenders and the LGBTQ HIV community go ahead and get this bill done, this law passed, that you can't specifically target these specific people, right? You know that Kamala is for those people, correct? So if that is the case and she is being put in office, do you realize there's going to be more horror, especially for these children that have to go into the bathroom and find, or these little girls that go into the bathroom and find a boy in the bathroom?
Well, I have a problem with that as well. The same way the LGBTQ and whatever else letter they want to put in there, the same way you want people to respect your rights, then how about respecting mine? To respect your rights means you infringe on my rights. No, that's not fair and that's not right. That's not the solution. To sit up and put our young children in a position that you are forcing this lifestyle and this information on them before the parents decide. It's the parents' decision when they want to talk about the birds and the bees, and if they want to explain that to a child. It's not the government, it's not the teacher, but now it's everywhere. If you look at the animated cartoons, you have men kissing men, you have women, you have boys dressing as girls, you have boy cartoons sitting up here twerking. And what kind of message does that send to a child when you're sitting up here teaching a little boy this is what it is to be a boy, to grow into a man, and you're saying, well, no, son, look, men don't do that, boys don't do that. But then they turn around and they go look at some animated something, and you have a little boy twerking. What kind of message is that? I don't want any of my relatives going in the bathroom and you look over and you don't know if it's a girl or a boy, or one day you're coming to school. I've even seen ads where they say, today I feel like a girl, tomorrow I feel like a boy. What kind of confused message is that? And you know what else? They're not sitting up sharing the stories of all the young people whose lives have been ruined by these surgeries and the hormones. You don't hear anybody talking about those, do you?
No.
And you're not, because it's not part of their agenda.
And that's another part of Project 2025. They're going to get rid of all contraceptives, right?
Mm-hmm.
All contraceptives, all pills, all of this, all of that. What we use, what women use, all kinds of stuff.
And that's something else that I wanted to touch on. There are women. I hear people online all the time talking about women being irresponsible, being single mothers, but nobody ever talks about the woman that is handling her business, that's on birth control, that gets pregnant. Okay, nothing but abstinence is 100% true. And there are a lot of babies running around here that were born out of contraceptives.
It's funny. I heard a woman the other day. She said, "If that's the case, then men ain't getting ish. And we ain't getting no protection. If we don't get no protection, if protection is gone for the man, then we ain't having no kids.
But how about this? How about this? I'm going to do you one like this. You know, online, everybody blames the woman and talks about what her responsibility. How about you men get a vasectomy sometime? How about that? What's the problem? You think childbirth feels any better? Just saying, why don't I hear in any of these spaces anywhere people yicking, yakking, and yakking? Nobody's talking about, well, you know what? We could fix the problem of women getting pregnant if I was responsible and had a vasectomy. I know one man that's had one, and you know, he said he got tired of wearing condoms, so he's good to go. No more babies.
Just
So why
for the
that
kids.
conversation though? It can't be that much painful for you guys. It can't be more painful than birthing a baby.
Hell?
And what do you think the baby comes out of us on?
Well, hey, look, we talking about nuts. All right, these balls here. They talking about snipping, cutting a little bit of piece, and twisting whatever, or cutting, snipping whatever, and then sewing it back together. Ouch!
Well, I guess you'd rather be a father and have an unwanted baby. So don't complain.
Hell no. We gonna work them out. Shit.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna wait and see what solution someone comes up with, because that is a great solution. And there are some men, and I'm gonna tell you, mostly white men have them. Yep, mostly white men.
Look, just if you're gonna do that, put me to sleep.
They're sure they put you to sleep.
No, they don't.
Oh, they don't? Well, I'm
No.
sure they numb you up. I'm sure they numb you. They're not gonna
No.
they're not gonna make you feel it.
I gotta call and see. Because my brother-in-law, he had a vasectomy, but now since he's remarried, not remarried, he's married again. He has to go in and undo his stuff because
They
his
want
wife wants children. So
Hey, it was very intrusive. Was it very intrusive?
what do you mean? What is you
Base.
coming up?
Was it invasive? Was it rough on him? Was it
Was it rough? You gotta write
like
these.
no. Did he say that it was really rough? His recovery and all that?
I never. I mean, he recovered. He recovered well. He recovered after a couple. He recovered after a week. So
Okay, so what are you talking about? It'll be straight. You know, you'll be good after a week. That's a small price to pay if you truly don't want children and you don't want to blame the black woman. But it's easier to blame the black woman and say she's being irresponsible when you being out here having all these baby mamas when they could go have a vasectomy and they can have all the sex they want to have.
look, all I know. Listen, we'll make a deal, right?
We're not talking about.
I know. Listen, I have an idea. Just say you just want to put the tip in, right? And when you start to feel it, pull out. Just pull out. Just go like this. Yeah, that's some lazy shit. I know. That's lazy shit. Okay, fine. Go and get a dissectomy or whatever. If it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
Going back to what I said, as in the pageantry of representation, you still would lean more to say that you would this old, rich, billionaire, 1% white man be the representation of the United States of America, opposed to a woman who has done the work.
What work?
She's definitely done community work.
What has she done for black people. I don't want to hear about people of color because all these other groups within the rainbow, stay with me, can't stand people any more than white folks. So one of the biggest mistakes we've made in the post-civil rights era was allowing this government to redefine us as people of color. We are not people of color. We are the American Africans, the descendants of those who were kidnapped, brought here, and forced to work for free. We have nothing in common with the Asians, the Latinos, the East Indians, the Arabs, the Chinaman. None of them were enslaved, Nick. Everybody came to America as people. We came to America as property.
Can't argue.
What has she done for us? What has Joe Biden done for us? What has Barack Obama done for us?
Again.
What has Bill Clinton done for us? What has Jimmy Carter done for us?
But because this is the thing, I'm not going to disagree with you because I'm not a Democrat nor am I a Republican. But if we're talking about pure representation, because we're not talking policy right now.
Okay, but you're dealing in empty symbolism, Nick.
So what has she done for us? What has the other side done for us?
Neither. And that's why I don't listen. I am an advocate of black people running away. I want to see an underground railroad away from the Democratic Party plantation, and I want to see an underground railroad away from the Republican Party plantation. Run your ass away. Get off the plantation.
So what's the solution? Because
the solution is for the black vote to get organized and to make demands and only exchange your vote for concessions that come from the candidates. We're going to lose no matter who wins.
That's not going to happen in this
The
one.
black vote is disorganized.
Are we going back to the Garvey mentality of we got to go get our own?
We need to, but I don't think we're there. See, I think too many
this.
American Africans are motivated by a pursuit to be accepted by white people. I believe the basic goal and direction of black American thought is to be accepted by white people by any means necessary. We don't want freedom because we don't want the accountability and responsibility that comes with freedom.
Wow.
If white people told black America, we're going to give y'all the 10 biggest ghettos, we leaving. They're yours, everything. That's electric, water, welfare, housing, land. You run Chicago. You run Los Angeles. You run Houston. You run Atlanta. You run Philly. We're gone. Negroes will go get them white folks and bring them back the next morning for breakfast.
Your thoughts?
I can't disagree. I can't. You know, I really, really can't.
But yeah, you got some sensitive ass. I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna shut up. You got some sensitive ass women out there. I'm telling you, you got some sensitive.
Why do you say that?
I don't even.
Men are coming off. These men are coming off very sensitive online, whining about the black woman. They're very touchy and sensitive.
I don't care much about the damn white woman. She has her own opinion about black people. I care about my people. Damn it.
Yeah.
Because she'll tell you anything. Their relationship, the motivation behind them and the white man is the white man just wants to get richer, right? The white man just wants to get richer, while the white woman just wants power. Just wants the power, just wants to be in charge. And she'll do any and everything just to get what she wants, even if it has to go through a black man to get it.
They don't
ain't gonna give her no resources.
The black man now, do they? These white people don't mind going through the black man because they seem to get on their arms very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, you see a lot of interracial couples now. It was a thing that once you get killed for, but now, you know, it's really socially acceptable.
Wow, amazing.
I told you, I said it doesn't matter who gets in office. Black people always get the short end of the stick. And by that. I don't care who gets in office. We're going to get the short end of the stick over anybody else.
And why is that, Lisa dear? I can name the one thing that matters, but you're
Go
much
ahead.
older than me, you're much experienced than me. I can just give you one specific thing.
Go ahead.
They want to annihilate the original black man from existence by
And
having
woman.
having all these interracial babies. I don't like
Yep.
that word interracial. To having all these interracial babies, these interracial children, and just replacing you and replacing you, but not realizing that it's null and void because they are still interracial or not, you are still a part of the African diaspora. You are still a part of the African family. No matter if you're Samoan, no matter if you're bilingual or whatever, you are still a part of Africa. Because basically two black people can get together and have a white person. You know what I mean? So it's not that they're doing us any favors. You might get rid of the original black man and replace and biracial people are going to be replacing black people in 2050 if I'm mistaken, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not going to make a difference. I just don't like it when we end up separating us as we don't even know psychologically that we're separating ourselves because we're arguing with each other every single day.
But that just goes back to the Willie Lynch syndrome. That's why. You know it does. You know it does.
I'm gonna go to Montrese because I'm getting sick of you being right all the damn time. Go ahead, Montrese.
First off, man, what's up? We-On-Loc. Let's see. I can't really see who else is up here. I know it's a
This
woman
is
though.
Miss Lisa Carter,
Miss
my
Lisa.
auntie.
Okay.
To keep my black ass in line.
Hey, Montrese.
Okay. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing good. Another day.
Yeah.
This is the one that follows Trish, Lisa.
He's what?
He follows Trish.
Oh, okay.
Trish to be pretty much be blaming everybody. I was playing. she was on you last night, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to, I had to give it back to her, but I love Trish, man.
That's what I'm saying. Don't make me get ugly up here for real now.
Nah. Nah, we love Trish, man, because she keep it real.
Yeah. And that's the kind of people we like.
But I want to say, like, when it comes to us, that's the best way to put it. Like, we always get the short end of the stick. We're always the ones that's disrespected and looked down upon, no matter who's in office. So I'm glad that you said that, because I was going to say something similar to that. It doesn't matter who's in office. We'll always be treated like that unless we do something about it.
You're absolutely correct. And the sooner we do something, the better we'll be, instead of sitting up here bickering back and forth about a black woman and a black ex-president.
So we need to get up in that office. More black people need to go to school.
Yes.
Get an education so you can be in them seats.
We need more black judges, so therefore to be a judge, we need more black lawyers.
Yep, there you go.
There's a way for us to come out on top.
Lisa,
It is.
Lisa, Montrese, take a look at that photo right there. Take a look at that photo. You see that white man right there? This white man right here. I'll blow it up. I will blow it up. You see that man right there?
I see that man, yes.
That is Kamala Harris's father from Jamaica.
Stop the madness.
Right.
That man is not black.
Man.
That man is not black.
He's
We all
not
know
white.
we all know her mother is Indian. But she put up the picture and is like, well, what color is he? Not black. I'm looking at a black, I'm supposed to be looking for a black man. That is an Eastern Indian looking like man from Jamaica.
That means he's black.
You know they have white people in the Jamaica. You know that,
One
right?
blood makes you black. You know I'm lighter than my complexion is lighter than him, but I'm still black.
Lighter, yes, he is much lighter.
That
Much
is black,
lighter.
man.
I've seen your complexion, Lisa. It's a pretty good complexion, but nevertheless, first complexion that is not black.
And you know what? I'm not black then, cause I'm Indian and Dominican. So does that mean that I'm not black? Cause now people, that's a new thing. Now you ain't black if you Indian and Dominican, or you.
But you
So
know,
I don't know, man.
Trish, you're right, because I had a friend that he's an Indian from India, family from India and everything. And he thought that he could sit up and throw around that word in front of me until I checked him. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. You're black. You think an Indian is?
Right.
Black person. I mean, some of us don't understand that. You take some black and drop it in a bucket of white paint and see what happens.
Let's go.
Okay, just saying this is what
a possibility that she might rock the room. It's a possibility. It's a possibility she might be not Cuban. I had it in my brain and I lost it. But
a percentage.
Yeah, a percentage of it, but and still when she said a black Jamaican, I'm looking dead into the camera. I know my eyes are not deceiving me. I know my eyes are not deceiving me. But either way, that's not my purpose.
I know what you mean. I didn't expect this complexion. I thought I was going to see somebody nice and brown. Not this.
Correct.
It's a black man.
Correct. But that's not the original reason why.
Some of Trump's propaganda that she wasn't black and that now all of a sudden she's black. That's
but that's not my purpose for wanting to play that. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I want to get
Evo is speaking. Hold on, let me finish.
Yeah, I don't want to talk over me.
My county,
Let him go ahead.
my county is libertarian.
All right, go ahead, Evolution.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just gonna be honest. It don't matter.
You know what matters more?
That's what trick bags
It's
almost like a dictatorship.
That's what Trump wants to do.
This is
They can only win local seats like Senate. They cannot win at the national level. I didn't tell them that. What I said was that the reality is.
All I said was, and I gotta be real. To vote for an independent is like not voting. Look it up. Because they
not.
never.
Incorrect.
Wait,
Why though?
Incorrect. No.
it's a
Because
waste
It's
of a
your
called
party
revolution.
it's
doesn't
There used
have
to
called
enough
be
choosing
free
money
who to vote
parties.
for.
when
You
there's
can
What
hold on,
independence you
hold
you
on.
not
cannot
Hold,
choose
choosing?
your
I'll
hold
you
your
wait.
can you can
retort.
be voting for
What
Hold
the
your
Oprah
retort.
and
independence y'all
still
know
not
When
if
even
you
we
vote
won the
nationally.
election? Which one?
That's a national
Look
decision.
in the
You don't
history.
have
Hold
to
What
be
on
national.
though.
independence won
When we
a presidential
Like,
election?
how
when
can
we
I'll
everybody
wait.
created
have
this
I'll wait.
little
everybody to
country of
talk to
ours,
you?
I'll
there was
probably be
20
waiting for the rest of
parties.
my
Yo,
life
yo,
though.
hey, yo,
There was
everybody.
She said voting independent is not voting at all. What in the whole hell was she talking about? And nothing against her. But I thought that being independent means that you have chosen to make a fair decision and you're not stuck being a Democrat or a Republican. Please, I mean, I might be wrong. I might be wrong on that. Again, I just think we need a civil war, and we just need to bring people in who have that we can talk to, right? And primarily, if they have if we're on the same accordance, then we can bring those people in and just start a whole new. That's just my opinion. What say all of you?
Um, that's crazy that she said
Yeah.
that.
Well, she said some other stuff, but it was my fault because I didn't read the room properly, and I know that if I
That's
were
crazy.
to if we were to talk about politics and stuff like that, because I guess she was just about to talk policies and stuff like that. What were the policies for Kamala and what the policies for Trump? And it immediately turned into I don't want to vote for Trump because he wants to get rid of he doesn't want abortions and he wants to just control my body. I said, oh boy.
hmm Well, you know what, man? I agree with that, bro. I don't think I think a woman should be able to do whatever she wants to do, man. Like and then people don't think about, you know, what if something happens during the pregnancy where she has to get an abortion.
Okay, so
So
what does the book say on abortions? It says you're not supposed to. It's certain states you can have an abortion if you have
hmm
the right type of insurance, and then there are those states that ban abortions altogether. So she's going to have to drive for miles and miles on out to go to a state where it's allowed abortion. Now, my question is, if that's the case, is she going to have to change her driver's license? Lisa?
No, no.
mm-mm. She should just be able to do it.
Driver's license if she's going to be a resident of that city or well, that state, not the city. Just to go there for that, no. But see, that's part of the issue. They fixed it now and stacked it where if you go to another state, you will be prosecuted. They are actually talking about paying people to snitch on people that assist. That's what I was telling you about earlier, that a doctor that assists a woman with a miscarriage or an abortion can get up to 99 years in prison. But say this
Damn.
man drives me to the doctor and he gets caught, he gets 180 days in jail. And then she's
Jesus.
situation. There are women who have died. I'm talking about this year, last year, that this one lady, I can't think of her name, because she had to travel trying to get the abortion, she died and left a 6-year-old child and a husband. I saw a lady at the doctor. The baby didn't have a heart. She had to carry that dead baby to term. I wonder how you think that feels.
Mm.
How would you like for a doctor to sit up here and tell you your baby's going to die after it takes its fourth breath? Why should a woman have to go through that? Why should I not be able to abort that? And especially when they're sitting here talking about it doesn't matter, let the mother die or the baby die.
Well, don't vote for
that's not
Sam
right.
Brown. Don't vote for Sam Brown.
There are things. There are certain type of medical conditions that where women, when they have those type of pregnancies, they need the abortion. The government should not have the right to tell me what to do with my body, whether it was an accident, whether I planned it, whether it's a medical condition, because at the end of the day, none of these men are birthing babies. You're not caring, going through the medical conditions. And like I said, how do you think you would feel if your wife had a baby in her that was dead? You're sitting up here, both of you know your baby will never live.
Right.
When that baby could have been aborted and saved that couple that cruelty, because that's cruel. Think about it. What parent, what husband wants his wife to go through that? So we sit up and say no abortion to everybody? No. Sitting up in Cleveland, Ohio, there was a 10-year-old girl, victim of incest from her father. 10 years old. They wanted to make that little girl birth that baby. They took her out the state to get her the abortion. So when we sit up here and we talk about no across the board, that's just stupid. We're not being considerate and looking at all the real facts. We're sitting up letting people put subliminal messages into our head as to what to think and not look at the totality of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But is this specifically Trump's rule, his hand on not having women just abort babies, or is it including something else? That's tough. That is so
With Trump,
freaking
there's
tough.
no gray area. That's what I'm saying to you. There is no gray area. They don't care if you're a victim of incest. Think about it. Think about it. If you are a father and you have a daughter and she gets raped and she becomes pregnant, you want your little girl to have to carry that baby? If she doesn't want to, if she wants to have the baby and the baby is a product of a rape, that's fine. But if she doesn't, could you imagine having to look at that child every day for the rest of your life and be reminded of a rape?
But I said that. I said that already. I said if I am pro life, but if the woman is getting raped or she's being incest, she has that right to go ahead and especially with incest. Oh no, I gotta tell my kid that your baby's father is your father, is your grandfather. I'm not doing that. That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I get that, but it's the thing about just is the fetus a child? That's my question. Is the fetus a child after that?
You know what? That's just like saying I'm a little pregnant. Either you're pregnant or you're not. Everybody knows that a fetus means a baby. We all know that. We can play like we don't, but we all know a fetus is a baby. Is a fetus a pet? Is a fetus a dog? Is a fetus a treat? A fetus is a baby.
But you know what I mean. We just had to. Okay, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. This is the reason why I say I stay away from women's conversations all the time. I stay away from them because that's not me. I don't abort children. That's me. Everybody else.
I've never aborted a baby. I've never aborted it, but I support the choice to make the decision because I can't walk a mile in another woman's shoes. And it's just like something else they're doing. Tell me why they're doing this. Women that are having miscarriages, they're refusing to treat them too. Why?
Yeah, I
You
know.
have your baby and you are bleeding and you're going through all the things your body goes through, and they are refusing to treat you. All of that falls up under this no abortion.
You lose a lot of blood and a lot of minerals.
Women are dying from some of these things.
And this is the reason why I say when you have a child, it's a 50-50 situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't, because if they are not treated properly, is either the baby's gonna after so many times, because after the water has broken from the baby, after the baby has broken the water, and this is what it says: the water is broken, and the baby's ready to come out. And I say this, I want to say this briefly. You should have your babies vertically, because gravity pulls down. If you're having your baby horizontally, it has all types of complications. And this is the reason why and this is one of the reasons why you have C-sections all the time. But you're putting but you can't just have a C-section without epidural. That's not gonna happen. You end up dying on the spot. So they end up putting these drugs in you that are unhealthy to you and the baby. And this is where the 50-50 proposition comes in. Either the baby's gonna go, or you're gonna go, or both of you are gonna end up meeting your maker.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 50-50 proposition. So this is why I say I thank God that women are strong enough to have a human life come out of you. And when these men have these stupid arguments talking about they're the prize, where do you get this concept from? Talking about you're the prize. You're not the one having these babies. Unless you're a transgender, of course.
What?
I am so serious, Lisa. This society has delved into another pit of hell that I don't even want to get into. But I definitely want to show my dog. Have you seen this video yet, Montrese? Of it was Barack going crazy on black people. Have you seen that yet?
Seen what?
Montrese, you there? Have you seen?
Yeah,
have you seen Barack go crazy on black people?
Who went crazy?
I'll let you see it.
Tried a Jamaican accent.
You know, empathy, man. You know, for the suffering of other people, and no sense of purpose.
She's so authentic, so likable and confident, of course, I jest. Now, Kamal has a man problem, and it's not just Doug knocking out him off. No, he's not the causing her headaches, but the fact that so many American men, including black men, do not want to vote for her. Now, the reasons are numerous. They're real and valid reasons, but of course, the simplistic take is that these men must be sexist. Here is Barack Obama lecturing the brothers, as he calls them, on why they must back Kamala.
We have not yet seen the same kind of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
He then went on to lecture them about why they must pick Kamala and why any reluctance must be due to what sexist, misogynist monsters they are.
You just aren't feeling the idea of a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody Because you think that's a sign of strength? Because that's what being a man is? Putting women down? That's not acceptable.
What do you think about that, Montre? What do you think about it?
Shit, he right.
He's right?
Yep.
Oh, elaborate.
Well, I think a lot of people, they get this. First of all, when I heard that they said most black men are voting for Trump or they're not voting for her, like the last time I checked, they said 97% of the black men are voting for her. So a lot of stuff be twisted and turned around, and it's a
You said
lot of shit that
97%.
goes on. Yeah, the last time I checked. So I think a lot of stuff be fake, like it don't be real, like. But those are people that really know what's going on, like those people that sit in them seats. Like they the ones that really know. Like that's why you see all these vice presidents and presidents bashing each other. And a lot of that stuff don't even be true. The stuff that they say about one another, but
I thought Trump believed in the polls last time I checked.
man, he didn't. He was the one that was saying that it was rigged. Oh, it's rigged. I got screwed over. I'm like, man, that
How does
dude.
I mean, let's just face it. Presidents get picked 4 years in advance before you can even say. That's why I say your vote don't even freaking count. But
Yeah.
let me continue with this. You said that he's right. Okay, so let's hear the other people who have their opinion on it, shall we?
Now, that little rant inspired some feedback from members of the black community, male and female.
I want Barack Obama and every Democrat out there to know you do not own black people. We are not slaves. Our chains on. We do not owe you anything, and we don't have to give you an account for how we choose to vote.
The Democrats then unleashed Barack Obama into the wild to shame us black men for not supporting Kamala Harris, despite the fact that she's yet to unveil any policies that represent our interests. But if it was a white politician shaming other white men for not voting based on identity politics, y'all will call him racist. Why is it okay for Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, and all these other people that supposedly look me? Why is it okay for them to get on TV and shame me for not voting for them simply because they look like me? That is racist, brother. I don't know how else to put it. That is racism. I don't have to vote for Kamala because she's quote unquote black. Just like I shouldn't have voted for yo because you got up there, you tap dance for the establishment, and you ain't do a goddamn for the black people that put you in office. You, brother.
You ain't did a thing for us in the 8 years that you was in the White House. And you think you gonna pop up during an election year and try to scold black men for them to vote for your candidate? Have you lost your mind?
I spent 7 years of my life fighting your administration, you and Biden, by the way, for my husband's military benefits. My daughter died because of Obamacare. I don't give a about you.
This message is for President Obama. First and foremost, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. Number one, I ain't going to vote for Kamala Harris. I think that she's going to make a bad president. She's a vice president. Everything she does, she tries to politicize it, and she hasn't shown the fact that she wants to put America first ever. So I'm not voting for that individual.
What you thought you was doing, Barack Obama? Boy, you didn't stepped out there. All you did was black men off, bruh. All you did was black men off. Why y'all think the American people why y'all think the Democrat Party own black folk? The Democrat Party don't own black folks, bruh. What you thought you was doing with that? We see the play. We know, we see the play. Kamala Harris is losing. She's not going to win.
The audacity of you to say to us that we are required and we better vote for Kamala Harris and that we don't want to see a woman in a position of power. You're a liar.
That's just a sample, folks. Plenty.
And hey, that's exactly why I said he right, because it's okay for Trump to do it though, because that's what he be doing. Don't he be doing the same thing? Don't he be talking the same way? Don't he be saying the same shit? And then it's, oh well, Obama, you didn't do anything for us. Also, the Democrats, they didn't restore the auto industry. They didn't do anything. Obama didn't do nothing. Like if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be no Ford. So the people that love Ford trucks so much, it wouldn't be no Ford trucks. It'd all be gone if it wasn't for Obama and the Democrats. So again, man, people, they go off for whatever Trump say, it seems like. Now Obama was saying you better vote for Kamala Harris for a reason. Just like JD Vance is telling people, oh, you better vote for Trump, even though he was bashing him and talking mess about him for the longest, and now all of a sudden he's with him. And
I'm
it's
gonna
a
put it like, bro.
it's a
I'm gonna put it to
popularity
you straight.
contest.
Yeah, that, and for the simple fact that it's a trick bag.
There you
Both
go.
of them always pulled a great performance. Even in the Republican Party, even though it's dry, and Democrats always try to spice it up by putting your favorite actors and movie stars in there, and having you eating pizza and popcorn at your house just to say, "Oh, come vote for me." For what?
What do you think with Hulk Hogan then?
I ate again. Whether it be ain't nobody paying attention to some 76-year-old man.
Believe it or not, there
Now
are
they
some
may
people.
pay attention to what's her name? The bald-headed chick. The bald-headed half-white chick. I'll think of her name. She did the slut walk. Amber Rose. Now, people might be paying attention, but ain't nobody paying attention to some 76-year-old man who used to be 6'9", but now he's 6'7" due to the fact that he keeps slamming his ass on the mat, and now his vertebrae all smashed up, and now he's 6'7". Ain't nobody paying attention to that old geezer.
Exactly what I told you earlier. I said that the Democrats pulled out the stops with all these star-studded people. I told you that there are going to be fans that are going to vote for Camilla just because Beyonce endorsed her. There are going to be people who are going to vote for Camilla because Taylor Swift endorsed her. There are going to be people that are going to vote for Camilla because Tyler Perry came and spoke. There are people, fans do crazy things. That's why they do it. Stuff that doesn't work. This isn't the first merry-go-round. This isn't the first election. Won't be the last. And like I also told you, like Montrese said, I told you that they do this. I told you that you sit up, everybody wants to complain about what he didn't do, but what did he do? I'm going to tell you something he did that was bigger than anything Trump and the rest of them did, and he doesn't even get the credit for it. It's rarely talked about. You said it earlier. Bin Laden. That's one of the things since 9/11 was so big under Bush. Obama inherited all that mess that Bush made and turned the economy around. Trump couldn't have been where he was at if it wasn't for the 8 years of Obama. But of course, Obama didn't do anything for anybody. But Trump does. Tell me what Trump has done.
The only thing that people can say that he's done, oh, he gave us a stimulus. Oh, you talking about the stimulus that you had to give right back in taxes? You talking about that stimulus?
And Montrese, that same stimulus, Trump didn't give it to us. What happened, if people want to know,
Yep.
Nancy Pelosi, the House
Oh my,
Speaker,
thank
the
you. Oh
Democrat,
my God.
he said, okay,
Oh my God. I've been telling people that don't nobody want to believe it. They like,
Everybody
nah.
knows that
I'm like,
Nancy
yo, you need to read, man. Like people don't
Everybody
read.
knows that Nancy Pelosi it was involved in that
And
full stimulus
these
package.
niggas, man, these niggas disagree with me all the time. Oh, no, no, she didn't. I'm like, you don't read, do you? You don't read, do you?
you
He
know what,
don't, he doesn't make us the final decision.
Right.
They give him the package and he reads it and he signs up on it.
Yeah.
I mean, they all make a decision. They all make a decision at the end of the day. We all tell him. They basically tell him what to do.
yes,
He's a goddamn realtor. He ain't no freaking
but
politician.
this is exactly why it's so important for you to vote. This is another thing that black people do. We want to run out on the major election, the presidential elections, but like I've told you, all the regular primary elections, the white people are going out and voting. That's how you get control of the House and the Senate. That's how Republicans and Democrats flip the seats. But no, we don't go out and vote all year long. I do, but a lot of people don't. Then you want to run up and vote for president. Then you want to wonder why it's a
Right.
problem. Not most people can't even tell you who. Do you know who your congressman is for your district? Do you know what
I
district you
know
live?
mine.
I know mine.
Okay, that's what.
I know my mayor too. We got a damn good mayor in my city.
I just spoke with my mayor 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, white woman.
You know what I do, Locke.
Yes, we all know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We
I
all
just
They don't.
I
Lisa's
noticed.
always involved
Yeah,
in
I believe it.
pretty much everything.
And I noticed that last video that you played. First of all, the one dude with the cowboy hat or the straw hat, he looked like a Trump supporter, and the last dude had on a Trump hat. So I'm like, yeah, we know what side you on, but people always say Trump did this and he did that, but the one thing that it's a guy I watch on YouTube named Trill Noel, and he said when Trump was in office, we had a curfew. We couldn't go nowhere. It was COVID.
Yeah.
They're
So
doing it
like,
for
come
him.
on, he was like thousands of people died because this man
Well, that
fired
was
all the
in
doctors that
your
Obama had in
city, correct?
place.
That
Huh?
was in your city, correct?
Man,
That was in
all
your
around the
city.
world, people was. I'm talking about COVID. Like, yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah,
well, I'm you talking about you talking about the curfew? Yeah, man, we had a curfew, bro, like 9 o'clock because of COVID.
And we
yeah.
have one too. But you
Why
know,
y'all
that's
had one and we didn't have one?
he's
Y'all
the
got
same
lucky.
who said, don't worry about it. It would
If
be
he
gone.
really didn't want y'all out there, he would have had martial law all across the city and state. Come
But
on
that's
now.
what Trump
No, but
wants.
people was going to jail in my city though. Like people
Oh,
was
wow.
getting arrested if they was out in the streets past 9 o'clock. If it wasn't an emergency or if you wasn't going to work, you was
Mhm.
going to jail if you was out in the street.
Mm.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know they were actually arresting people.
Yeah, they was arresting people in my city. Like,
Well, you
yeah,
know, Trump knew about COVID anyway. He knew about it.
he knew about it December 22nd, of
Right.
2019. That's my birthday. That's how I remember it. Like he been knew about it. Like, and
Mhm.
and then he tried to blame it on the Chinese. I'm like, bro, no, stop trying to blame it on everybody else. The same people that you negotiating with, you trying to blame
It
it
was
on
the
them.
dogs. The dogs. They were eating the dogs. That's why you're getting COVID.
Yo, I got a
Then
lot of
again,
people.
go after Africans. The Africans are eating the dogs.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people in my family that live in Springfield, Ohio, and they talked about the Haitians, but they said ain't none of that going on. And then you had the mayor of Columbus saying that ain't nothing like that happening. Nothing like that is happening. Dudes just be talking, man. Like, but old white men end up becoming senile anyway. So I wasn't surprised that he said that. But he says a lot of BS like that, and people run with it.
Listen, you as far as I know, you have two fractions. One of them has executed 5 supposed innocent black people. The other one has locked up a whole bunch of black people.
How
So
many?
still with the issue.
How many?
You told me it was up to what, 400? I forgot what you
No,
said.
45.
45.
There was a lie that Trump put out there, and people ran with that. Oh, it was 900 people. No, it wasn't. It was only 45, and all of those people were criminals, and they should have got locked up. You do the crime, you do the time. That's how I feel about it.
Were they really criminals, Montrese?
Yeah, because I looked it up, because I read into it. Those people were criminals, and they should have been locked up. If you out here robbing and stealing and doing, smoking whatever you smoking, and where you live, you shouldn't be smoking it because it's illegal. Because where I'm at, they shut down all the CBD shops. So what that means is you shouldn't be smoking none of that stuff in my city. So if you do it, you should get locked up. It's the law. Obey the law. You ain't got no problems.
When did you become a law-abiding citizen?
Dude, I've been a law-abiding citizen, man. I stopped doing dumb shit a long time ago. Long time ago.
I see you. I see you. But you know I'm gonna have to burst your bubble, right?
Yeah. No, like I told Trish, man, I don't care if y'all do it, but if somebody else do it who I don't know, I'm gonna get on your ass. But I know y'all cool, so.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. You know what I'm saying? You're my dog. You're my brother.
Yeah, like I said, you can do
Madden,
that.
Just like Madden, I'm gonna have to whoop your ass. So here
Yeah, I gotta do the same, man.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
See, office holders are not elected, they are selected by the moneyed powers that be, which are white supremacy's administrative arm. 2016, Attorney General Harris begins her campaign for the U.S. Senate, and as part of her cynical strategy, she was suddenly very concerned about the Matrice Richardson murder, and she reversed her office's prior position, announcing that she was opening an investigation into the murder just in time for the election. Matrice Richardson's father called out this stunt for the obvious fraud it was. It was clear to everyone that she was trying to fool the black community into thinking she wasn't our enemy. And this worm, Kamala Harris, had the gall to use a murdered black girl as a pawn to get some quickie headlines in order to gain some black votes. Kamala Harris won the Senate election in November of 2016, and a month later, as she was preparing to vacate her office as Attorney General, she quietly, very quietly, put out a statement that her office was dropping the investigation of the Matrice Richardson murder for the second time because there just wasn't enough evidence of a crime.
Shall I go further? Oh, Mahogany.
Yeah, keep going.
I already told you nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's saying she's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight you, Auntie. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm like this. I have my hands up. I have my hands raised.
Okay.
This is not on you. This is on him.
But you talking about somebody that was murdered, right? I'm talking about the people in jail.
But wait,
Like
we haven't scratched the surface quite just yet.
Let's go. Keep going.
Okay.
2017. From the moment she was sworn in, Kamala Harris began copying Barack Obama's strategy of getting into pointless, meaningless spitball fights with Trump administration officials, except for Steve Mnuchin, who she had let off the hook years earlier. And she was doing this in order to force the white media to cover her and put her into the news cycle. Barack Obama would do the same stunts and grandstanding when he got into the Senate in 2005, constantly bickering with Bush administration officials over nothing as a quickie way to raise his profile and gets a little bit of airtime on the white media airwaves. It was obvious that Kamala Harris was vying for attention and taking every opportunity to make the white media notice her. She wasn't bothering to try to get any legislation passed. No attempts at forwarding any policies. Just one media stunt after the next. One pointless spitball fight with Trump administration officials after the next. And absolutely nothing being done to get tangibles for black people. There was some idle speculation about Harris running for president since she was the only other biracial in, after which the primary election season officially got underway. It was at this point that Kamala Harris figured she was ready to throw her bedwench high heels into the ring. She knew that she had the donor support. She knew that she had the California political machine behind her. She knew that the white media was going to back her to the hilt. What she did.
My bad. I passed it. My freaking gosh. I'm so sorry. I passed it. That's my fault. This is my fault.
Didn't the law said she would pick and choose when the law applied, that she would do her job when it suited her. This is a blatant admission of corruption. 2014, Michael Walker was an innocent man who the LAPD framed for burglary with no evidence whatsoever, and the LAPD, working in direct concert with the LADA's office, never even brought Walker to trial. Instead, they just kept him locked up behind bars because they knew if they had to prove he was guilty, they couldn't. They had no evidence. You cannot imprison someone without them being charged and without them having their day in court. Walker's constitutional rights had been flagrantly violated, and the LADA's office fought to keep violating his rights all the way to the Supreme Court. Now, it wasn't because the LADA's office thought that the Supreme Court was going to nullify the Fourth Amendment, even for black people. It was because the LADA's office was determined not to admit that they were wrong. In 2014, Walker won a fairly small jury verdict against his persecutors. But what he didn't get was the support of then Attorney General Kamala Harris. Her office should have immediately swept down on the LAPD and the LADA's office for prosecutorial misconduct and police corruption. This is an open and shut case. If there was ever a ridiculously obvious example of police and prosecutorial misconduct, this would be it. But Kamala...
Just a little something. Just a little something to just, not to say that, I told you so, but I told you so.
They said, I remember that, but they say he was one of the 900, but it was only 45 people. And then, like, the guy on the tape, man, listen, you can tell dude biased as hell because he said that Obama in 05 was doing the same thing that Kamala Harris is doing right now, which is going after the other party. When the other party goes after the other party all the time, they trash each other. That's what they
He's
do.
not for
They
none.
all.
He's not for Kamala or Trump. Neither one of them.
He sound biased to me.
He sounds
but
like
they all. But my thing is, bro, like he said that they use this to get the white people's attention. When both parties do the same thing, they all trash each other.
And he does, and Professor Black Truth does video on all parties. All parties are trash.
Well, he better because they all do the same thing.
Up on Trump then. Where's the stuff on Trump?
You want me to do that, Lisa?
I do.
You got time.
Oh, she wants you to do she wants you to do Mr. I'm marching at KKK. Yeah.
Or how about those black jobs?
Yeah, or how about those boys that he had put away? Those 5 boys, everybody know about that.
The 5, but
You
that's
mean
okay.
the five that got executed?
No, they didn't get executed.
They were innocent.
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the boy who was at New York. They had a TV show about them in a documentary.
Yeah,
They went to jail for some time though.
yeah. What is it? The Jenna 5?
There you go. And he paid 75 grand to make
Yeah,
sure that them boys went away. And then he just kept paying, like keep them in jail, and they was innocent the whole time.
yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give me a few minutes.
Harris refused to hold the police and prosecutors accountable. She didn't even say one piddling word about the persecution of Michael Walker. But then again, why would she? She made her political bones doing the exact same things. And speaking of mistreating prisoners and violating constitutional rights, federal judges later that year would tell Kamala Harris's office that she must release as many nonviolent offenders as possible because the prisons in California were so overcrowded that it constituted a violation of the Constitution. Under California law, they have a 2-for-1 policy for nonviolent offenders who are on anything under a third strike. That means nonviolent offenders only have to serve half their sentence before they become eligible for parole. Kamala Harris and her office fought this all the way to the Supreme Court, not because they thought it was against the law, not because they thought it was a threat to public safety, but because Kamala Harris was using the prisons as her own forced labor. As wildfires burned through California, Attorney General Kamala Harris was determined to risk as many lives as she had to protect the homes of the wealthy white people who she depended on for donations. You see, it's those wealthy white folk who live up in the hills. Because these wealthy white people wanted to be far as possible away from the plebes down in the cities. So instead of letting these guys pay for their own fire protection, it's a matter of, let's force the public to foot the tab and let's force prisoners to do what these wealthy white people should be doing for themselves. But Kamala Harris figured she could get around having to pay people to fight the fires by using inmates as slave labor, so she arbitrarily extended the prisoners' sentences by refusing to release them from prison. This is a clear-cut violation of the Constitution, not because I say so, but because the courts ruled so. Many of these defendants challenged Attorney General Harris's little edict, and her office went to court to defend their right to use slave labor. The court documents show the feculent excuse that her office used to try to keep her deadly scam going. As her office put it, had a hard time finding inmates who would be eligible to be used as firefighters. And the reason that it had to be low-level nonviolent offenders is because this pool of slave labor that Kamala Harris was forcing to go into these deadly situations, they were going to be in close proximity to these wealthy white landowners' homes. She wanted to make sure that it was in.
All right, I'm back. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that boy tripping on something. But needless to say, we have a long time. We have a long ways to go and a short time to get there. And I obviously have to say that this election is quite interesting, but yet the one thing I am going to do is I'm going to vote for my local officials. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
All the rest of the people say you gotta vote national. No, you don't. And
Well, I tell you what I'm going to vote for, and I've already voted. My ballot has already gone back.
Okay, well, we all know you, Lisa. You everybody.
I'm voting for Lisa Carter. That's who I'm voting for president.
Yeah, I definitely vote for Lisa Carter. Hey, vote for none of the above. I am going to have a shirt, literally, that says I'm voting for none of the above. and that's going to sell out. It's going to sell to so many independent people. You see, this is the interesting part. When they did a town hall meeting on the Second Amendment, do you know how many white folks were on that panel? You had a whole bunch of white dudes and a whole bunch of white women. And there was one white girl that said, "You need to do away from the Second Amendment." And this guy was like, "Shut the hell up! You don't know what you're talking." They really are about that Second Amendment. I wish they were like that with our First Amendment rights, our Third Amendment rights, our 14th, 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment rights. But hey, what do I have to say? It's like, again, I'm gonna vote for the hell I want to vote for. I have no right. I have no right. You have no right. We have no right to tell other people or force feed them something that isn't in our best interest in our lineage. That's not in our lineage because it's been 93 years already. We've been voting Democratic for 93 years and haven't produced not one. We are still at 1 point. We still own 1.5% of wealth in this country. The needle has not moved at all. And don't give me LeBron James because LeBron James been rich. He just turned billionaire a couple of years ago. So what? So my answer is, my question is, what are we who have a better understanding of what's going on in this election in this country? What are we planning to do, Lisa?
What'd you say now?
I said, what are we as independent individuals? What are we planning to do? Those who understand how this country works, what are we planning on doing?
Well, what we should be planning on doing is working together, trying to find like minded people so we can really make some stuff happen, make change, get some of our people, the like minded people like us, we need to get them in office so they can go, to Congress, or maybe we can go testify before the Judiciary Committee, the Poverty Committee, the Oversight Committee, some of these committees. That's why what I was telling you about the primary elections, we don't turn out for the other elections except every 4 years we run out and vote for president. But the other elections are more important than the president because the president can't do anything that Congress does not let them do unless he vetoes it or she vetoes it.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
What say you, Vine Trees?
Well, just, I mean, look, we got to work together, man. That's the only way we're gonna see something, man. That's why I said last night. I hope that one generation changes everything because it's gonna continue to be like this unless something happens. Unless we do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lisa, you want to tell them about the what do you call them? People that you told me about, Lisa?
The
We said
Gen.
it. Huh? Yeah.
You talking about the Gen Z?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. Well, Gen Zs are ranging in age from 21 to 25, and they're saying they're tired of things being done the old-fashioned way, like knocking on doors. They want to do things on TikTok and through TikTok. But like I told Locke, I don't want any 21-year-old, any 25-year-old making decisions about my laws, my life,
Right.
they have not lived life. They're not mature enough. What have they lived? I mean, they're still, some of them are still in college. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think that there should be a minimum age, just like for president.
Yeah.
There's a minimum age for president.
Mm-hmm.
And these are some young people. One's black, one's white, one's Asian, the other one looks transgender.
Yeah, and that's in Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia.
So I mean, it pretty much is what it is.
I definitely don't want no transgender making no decisions for me. Like, no.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell freaking no. I'd rather have
Well, let's talking about that. Let's talk about. I heard some ads about she saying that we would pay for the transgender while they're locked up, like their
I
shots and stuff.
I
Yeah.
think she's talking about the changes. They can make changes in prison. Something of that
But
nature.
they need their own stuff.
Man, they said that's what Bernie said, but I mean
Bernie.
she didn't say she said that, but
Bernie the Democrat?
yeah, like he was
What
brought
the
up
hell, bro?
like yeah, they was like Bernie didn't they was like Bernie uh transgender sex changes, he's okay with it. And I'm like, well, y'all saying the whole Democrat Party is okay with it, but no, everybody's not okay with that. That's Democrat.
But you're
Everybody's not okay with that, man. That's weird, man.
but you're in cahoots when you have two individuals who are running the White House. One is obsolete at this point, and the other one is running for office.
Yeah.
You forget that big rally that they had. That would mean he was passing law stating that the Rainbow Coalition has a law,
Yeah.
which they do, which is quite
Yeah.
scary. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you signing all these people in. When are we ever going to have a law? Oh, we do. It's the no hanging law.
Mm-hmm.
Each other anymore. Not
Right.
like that anyway, because everything's so political. I mean, you might send police to come and destroy us, but that's far. But I, I am so glad that we had this conversation.
Me too.
But I just was signaled with my wife that I got to go to the store and get this boy something for his lip because he has to get up in the morning and go to school. So I had to do my fatherly duties, and I got to have this thing to a close. What say you, Lisa?
Be true to yourself.
Oh yeah. I say this, and I'm gonna leave off with this. We don't need another group of people storming the Capitol. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, say it again.
So we don't need another group of people storming the nation's capital with Confederate flags.
Okay, I'm with you, my trees.
No, I'll do you one better. I want them storming Las Vegas so I can get involved and get some free shit.
Ah.
Free coaching bags. So I can put on that ski mask and go storming towards the city. And and the malls is boring as hell. But I can get some
Yeah.
free shoes.
Yeah, them malls they dead, man. People
Not
don't
not
shop
well,
in the
if you
mall
go
no
to the
more.
ones on the strip area. I
Oh, well,
mean,
yeah.
you might get, I mean, they're very, how do I say it? Very bougie. Let's put it that way. Just very
Hmm.
bougie. And a lot of
Yeah,
white
that
people.
sounds like where I'm at. Because there's a place called Fallen Timbers, and they a little bougie out there. So I know what you mean.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I thank you, Lisa. I thank you, Montrese. This has
All right,
been really
man. Y'all have a good one.
you too. You stay
Thank
safe.
you, my
Lisa.
tree. Yes. Bye bye.
And that includes the wonderful, I have to say, as I came from. This was wonderful to me. This was a wonderful live, and we got to interact with some people. You know, it's lovely. Mahogany, I will get at you soon. Definitely, we got to do better. It's no doubt about it. We have to do better as a people, and we got to keep striving, and keep thriving to being something greater than what we are. With that being said, I gotta go handle